As a working mom and someone who likes to get things done, I've come to realize that it's not about having big goals or big plans, but rather about building certain habits, simple habits. We're not talking about anything fancy here today, but building certain healthy habits into our lives is what will have the biggest impact on our work, our productivity, our relationships, and the quality of our lives in general. And today I'm sharing with you 3 of my favorite habits that I know will be very helpful for you too. Hi, I'm Muna. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you get notified every time I release a new video. Let's get right into it. Habit number 1 is create before you consume. The first time I heard this was in the context of work. I learned it from one of my favorite teachers, Marie Forleo, when I was taking a course with her that was called B School. It was a business school course for 6 months. And she talked to us about this in terms of people like me who are creating content on a weekly basis or a daily basis, or people who are producing this kind of work into the world. And she talked to us about the importance of creating our content before we consume other people's content. But today, and for the purpose of this video, I want you to think about it in all areas of your life. Where are you consuming before creating? Are you, for instance, answering the phone whenever it rings because somebody called you, even if you were in the middle of doing something else? Are you replying to emails before you write your to-do list? Are you responding to people's requests before you check in with what you need to do yourself? I know the idea of create before you consume generally sounds like it has to do with content, but really think about it this way. You have a plan and you have a schedule and you have goals to fulfill. And if you start every day being reactive and responding to whatever comes in, whether it's by email or message or on social media or a phone call or an invitation, all of these things are always going to come in. But if you start your day with taking in these invitations and these requests for your help and support before you check in with yourself, you are giving your power away to everyone around you. You're giving your power away to the world in general. So my suggestion is take this idea of create before you consume into all areas of your life and make sure that you focus on your own priorities, your own schedule, your own goals before you start reacting to the world around you. Habit number 2 is probably my favorite, and it's about building white space into your calendar and your schedule. What does white space mean? White space is actually one of my favorite new terms this year, and it's one of the words that I chose as my word for the year. And it means the space to do nothing and have no responsibilities or obligations. So it's basically finding time every single day, and I'm not talking late night when everyone goes to sleep or early morning before anyone wakes up. I'm talking about during the day. Finding some time every single day, if you can, to have what I call white space. This white space is not you driving from one place to the next. It's not you preparing for a meeting. It's not you cooking. It's you doing literally nothing. And the reason that I encourage having this white space and the effect that it's had on my life is that, first of all, you're not feeling rushed all of the time. You know that your calendar has that space for you to kind of chill and relax and give your mind a break. And second, when your mind is taking this kind of break and this kind of rest during the day, it will start coming up with creative ideas, with solutions you haven't thought of, because you were rushing between one thing to the next, between doing this to that, between helping this kid and then helping this guy and doing this and doing that. And when you settle down, and I don't mean sit in meditation or sit in silence. This is so important, and I hope this is a habit that you have. If not, we'll talk about it in another video. But I'm talking about space where even at work, if you have a job, a full-time job, making sure that your calendar is not blocked one meeting after the next. Keeping space between these meetings, not necessarily to prepare for the meetings, but just to have that white space to think and be creative. And I promise you, when you do that, you'll start having ideas. Things are going to start emerging because you're not so rushed. One of my favorite things to do, and it's a must if you want to have a balanced kind of feeling throughout your day. And by the way, if you're struggling to find time to fit this into your life, then I suggest you download my latest masterclass, where I talk about 5 things you can start doing today that will literally save you hours every week as a busy mom. So make sure you grab that. It's free and it's in the download link underneath this video in the description somewhere. Now on to habit number 3, and it's nurture your romantic relationship. I know this doesn't apply to everyone, but if you are in a relationship, a romantic relationship, you have a partnership, then it's really important to remember to ask yourself, am I happy where I am in my relationship? Is this the kind of relationship that I wished for? Is my relationship where I hope it is? And if the answer is no, that's totally fine. Life happens, work happens, kids happen. There's so much going on, and it's easy sometimes to take our relationships for granted and not to put the effort that maybe we once put into the relationship. But what I truly believe is that we need to still put effort into the relationships. I know that when you're with a partner that you're comfortable with, that you've been together with for a long time, it's easy to relax. And it's easy to also think, I thought that myself in the past, that now that I'm in a serious relationship, I shouldn't have to put effort anymore. We're not dating, we're not doing any of these things. But honestly, you should be dating your husband. You should be nurturing this relationship. And I want you to ask yourself, what can I do to make the relationship stronger? What does my relationship need from me to grow stronger? And I want you to notice here that we are taking full responsibility here. I did not ask you, what can he do? What can she do to make this relationship better? Because we can't control anyone else. And why am I choosing this as a daily habit? Does this mean we have to go on date nights every day and sit and talk for hours and look into each other's eyes? No, we can't do that every day. Although I do definitely suggest that that becomes a weekly thing or once every couple of weeks. But I'm talking about the daily small things, and it's what I teach about children as well. Make sure you have moments of connection throughout the day. It's not hours and hours, but it is a moment of connection, a moment of looking into each other's eyes, a moment of genuinely asking how they're doing, a moment of recognition, appreciation. All of that is like depositing, and investing into your long-term relationship and your long-term happiness and the long-term quality of your life. Our relationships are what keep us strong. So if you are in a relationship, make sure you show the person how much you love them. Ask for what you need, nurture and love and give and be happy. So those are 3 of my favorite habits. I know they sound very simple, but it's their simplicity that makes them so powerful. Habits only work when they're easy to implement and replicate and repeat. So I really hope that one of these resonated with you at least. Let me know in the comments which one resonated the most, which one are you going to start with, which one did you disagree with? I'd love to have a conversation in the comments and keep this going. Thank you for listening, and make sure once again, if you haven't downloaded How to Save Hours every single week using 5 simple tips, make sure you grab that before you go. And if you didn't subscribe, do that before you go as well. I'll see you in the next video.